All right, so we are live, back with my second podcast that I've ever done for my channel. I'm here with my man Brock. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself? He don't have a YouTube. He's not a YouTuber, just so everybody knows. He's not a YouTuber. He doesn't have a YouTube channel. But a good friend of mine, me and him, we watch the wrestling. We talk about wrestling a lot. So he wanted to come. I asked him if he'd come on my podcast, and he said yes. So why don't you go ahead and you can introduce yourself, tell people how long you've been watching wrestling, tell them just let everybody know what you're about.
All right. What's up? Sam Brock, 19, reside up in KY. Uh, been watching wrestling ever since probably about 8 or 9. When I first started, it was in between John Cena and Edge's feud back in '06, and I've been hooked ever since.
Yeah, that was a classic feud right there.
Oh, most definitely. I stopped watching after a little bit because it kind of got stale to me around 2014, 2015. I got picked back up on it, and I ain't stopped since. So, they've been doing some big things with WWE lately.
Yeah, I liked I liked how that '06 feud. I forgot all about that feud. That's like one of the best feuds I ever watched. That's when I was really big into John Cena. Like John Cena's my favorite wrestler of all time. But at that time, I was like so hooked on John. I didn't want him to lose any match he was in. Like didn't matter who he was facing.
I agree with that shit. John was probably one of my favorites of that whole era. Really, him and Edge, their chemistry together in the ring was just phenomenal for real.
Yeah, that was crazy. You remember how do you feel when Edge retired? You remember that when he had to
Uh,
retire?
I did remember watching that, and it was like bittersweet. He was. I grew up watching him, so it was just kind of like, dang, one of my favorites is leaving, but I understand the condition he was in. He couldn't wrestle anymore. They forced him
Right.
to retire.
The same with how you feel about Daniel Bryan. They're doing that with Daniel Bryan now. I heard that Paige has had to retire now because of that situation. And Paige is on 25. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, and that I feel for it because the fact she's only 25, she did so much for the women now, and the fact that she couldn't even compete in Royal Rumble because of this neck injury, it sucks. I feel for it, and
Yeah,
with
I
Daniel
feel
Bryan as well, him having to force retire, but if they could, they would. It's just the best for WWE wants them to do.
right. I mean, obviously they gotta look out for people's health. And
Yeah.
I've been hearing that Daniel Bryan said that when his contract expires, I think he said expires in September or something like that. They said if WWE doesn't let him wrestle, he's gonna leave and go wrestle like independents.
I believe it. I believe it. He's been hungry lately. He's been seeing all this talent that's been coming up from NXT. What they've been doing with SmackDown Live. It sucks he ain't a part of that.
Yeah, I feel Daniel Bryan. At the time he had to retire, man, he got over more than anybody I can remember in a while. Like his reactions were insane.
Definitely, I agree with that. He was probably one of WWE's best in his time period.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. When he had to retire, I felt bad. I really felt. I was there. I was actually there. It was in Cincinnati when he had to announce his retirement. I was there, and I remember because he was the Intercontinental Champion at the time. I remember he came out and he gave a little because he got hurt when he was the world champ, but then he was gone for almost like a year. Then he came back. Everybody
Yeah,
was so happy that he came back, and he was only back for like 3 or 4 months. And then
right.
I remember he came out and he then announced his retirement, man. And people, I honestly was like, damn, that's terrible, man. I can't believe that's crazy. And then he was on at the time he was only like 32, 32, 33 years old at the time. He's still like in his prime right now. Like he could be out here wrestling AJ Styles right now.
Right. I feel for him. I hate everybody who got the neck injuries right now. They have to be forced to retire, especially if they in their prime. Like it sucks.
Yeah, especially Paige, man. That's when I heard that, man. He's only 25. That's terrible. Like I
And
honestly,
on top of that, she's been through so much the past year. For her to come back to get that big crowd reaction back in November, for her to only force retire not even 3 months later, like I feel for her. I hate that.
yeah, that's crazy, man. I remember I remember she came back. Okay, she was gone for a minute. She was injured for like a year, and then remember she had that like all her leaked pictures got out there and like videos, like sex tapes and all that stuff got leaked out there and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
then now she retired. That's just like man.
It sucks, but at least she can know though that in her tenure, even though she wasn't done, she did so much for the women now. You know, can't nobody replace history. I mean, she was the first ever NXT Women's Champion. I mean, her and AJ Lee and Nikki Bella's feud was probably one of the best feuds, 2014 for the women.
Right, right.
It was actually getting time. Then her
Exactly.
part of the Divas Revolution, that next year, bringing up Charlotte, Becky Lynch with her. I mean, she's had a good career. I mean, I hate that it had to end so soon on her being so young because she still got so much she got to do. But, I mean, I hate it for her. I do.
Yeah, so what do you think about we were talking about this earlier, about the Women's Royal Rumble? How do you feel about how the outcome, how it all went down?
I think, the match overall was perfect. I think they did everything accordingly. I don't agree with Oscar being the winner of that match, but everything was dope, throughout
So
the whole.
if who would you like to see have won then? Because you said that you weren't really big on Oscar winning. You said you're kind of big on Oscar, but you're not big on Oscar. Who would you like to have seen win?
If anything, I would like to see Nia Jax win that.
Really? See, yeah, I like Nia Jax, man. I would like to see Nia. I could have been cool with Nia Jax winning.
Honestly, I would have been cool with anybody winning. Like, only reason I say, I wasn't favorable in Oscar is just because she's been pushed so much. I mean, she still ain't been beat, in WWE, period. And at longest NXT Women's Champ, and then now she came up to Raw, won the Royal Rumble. I mean, kudos to her. I mean, that's a big thing for the women. But just for me personally, I'm like, man, they over push her. Like, I like Oscar for her. I think she's cold. Her moves is just sick. But I feel like I would have accepted anybody else other than her to win the Royal Rumble.
So who do you think she's gonna face at WrestleMania? Alexa Bliss or Nia or Charlotte?
I feel like she's probably gonna go for Bliss just because she's on Raw. But I mean, Charlotte and Oscar, I mean, that'd be pretty lit too.
I would see the Charlotte and Oscar match would be more lit than the Alexa match, but I know her and Alexa would have a great match too. It's just the Charlotte match would have more hype to it. But then she would have to go to SmackDown, which I don't have a problem with. I'm cool with her going to SmackDown, but now they got Ronda Rousey in the division. They're like, we don't even know if Ronda Rousey's on SmackDown or Raw yet. So
right,
which most likely she's probably gonna be on Raw, most likely.
I feel like they need to keep Asuka on Raw. Like the Raw Women's division, I mean, it's good with the people they are now. They missed one. It's just like, I feel like everybody's good where they're, especially the women. Like, the women on SmackDown Live, they good on SmackDown Live. The women on Raw, I feel like they good on Raw. Like,
I'd like to see Asuka versus Charlotte. Really, I really would. But it's just I don't that from what I heard they have Ronda Rousey supposed to be teaming up with The Rock versus Stephanie and Triple H at WrestleMania, which is cool because that'll be a pretty hype match. But if Rock can't do it, then they said they're gonna have Braun Strowman filling in for that place. But Braun Strowman wouldn't be a bad fit. It's just obviously The Rock would have more. I mean, it's The Rock, so I mean, it would have definitely more hype to it. And then, The Rock and Triple H got a lot of history together. The whole situation would fit perfectly. That whole match would fit perfectly.
Yeah, it just make a lot more sense, since they had that little standoff at WrestleMania 31, kind of bringing it back. You'd be like, it just fits perfect.
Just, Rock's so busy. He got so many movies, man. He got so many things he got to do in Hollywood. He always stay busy, man. So it's just, would he have time for WrestleMania? Because, he would have, it'd be different if he just show up for WrestleMania. It's just different, but you'd have to build the matchup. So he had to show up. He had to make some appearances on Raw. He had to fill time in for his schedule, and we don't know if he's gonna have time for all that.
Yeah, like that's why I feel like if they do go with the Ronda Rousey and The Rock thing, I feel like they just go perfect. Considering the clash they already had, 2 years ago at Mania.
Right. So, who are some superstars that you think need to be on WrestleMania that haven't, like, I feel like the Usos have to be at WrestleMania this year. They haven't been on, I don't think they've ever been on a WrestleMania card, like an actual card. They've always been like on a pre-show. To me, they've been killing the tag team division the whole year. I think the Usos definitely should be on the main card for WrestleMania. It's just I don't know who they would work with because they've worked with pretty much every team on SmackDown. That's pretty much been over. But who would you like to see on the card at WrestleMania?
Like you said, Usos, I'd definitely like to see them work with somebody, probably a call-up team from NXT. You know, I think that'd be pretty dope. Probably Authors of Pain for real. I think they will give the Usos, you know, a run for their money.
You like what about the Revival?
Revival, I think they'd be good too. You know, I haven't seen much of them in a while, you know, but I think that'd be a good little comeback for them if they do come back, you know, come to SmackDown Live, take the
Yeah.
titles, you know.
Well, what
It'd
if
be fresh
they?
with those.
They could do. I mean, if the Revival would have won the tag titles, they could do, tag team versus tag champs, like Raw tag champs versus SmackDown tag champs. That way, neither team has to jump. They could
Yeah.
do that. But the Revival, they're not really over right now. I mean, they don't really. I know one of them was injured pretty much all of last year, so that's why they weren't on TV. But they just now start getting
Yeah.
back on TV. So
I feel like when they first got called up from NXT, they had all this hype to them. I like the Revival, you know, especially with their little feud with New Day when they first came up there. I was like, okay, you know, it's something fresh. You know, I feel like, you know, for WrestleMania wise, I feel like if like you put the Usos in a tag team match, I feel like it needs to be, you know, call-ups from NXT, just something new, like
something
different.
fresh, something new, something fresh.
Yeah, I'm trying to think some who else.
Well, I mean, how would you feel about this? What if they did like they used to do back in the day? What if they did a Fatal 4-Way TLC match with like the New Day, Shelton Benjamin, Chad Gable, the Usos, and they can throw somebody else in there, like I don't know, like the Bludgeon Brothers or something, somebody else in there.
I think that'd be pretty good. I mean, all of them work good. I mean, it's like one of them little shot in the darks, but I think that would work.
I think that would work too. I just don't know. How do you feel about how would you feel about Jason Jordan versus Seth Rollins?
I mean,
how do you feel about before you answer? How do you feel about Jason Jordan in general? Do you like Jason Jordan, or are you because people there are ups and downs with him right now? You know, a lot of people don't like him, but then he's got a lot of potential, a lot of talent. He just don't have a character.
Yeah, like I feel like he needs to work on his promo a little bit more. But other than that, he got the wrestling skill down pat. Like, I mean, he kills it in the ring. I feel like, him trying to, talk to the crowd, trying to connect with them. I think that's something he needs to work on. But I mean, he is fairly kind of fresh, It's just
yeah, his in ring skills are really good. He's had great matches. I remember he had a good match with John Cena. He had a good one with Roman Reigns. He's had good matches with The Miz. No, they've had great matches. It's just right now people aren't invested in him really high. He doesn't have a character, so people are he just kind of stale. Really, like they don't. He's just nobody right now. He's just out there just to be out there.
Right. It's just like he's just a little sore thumb almost. He sticks out, but he's just like he'd be fine if he works on his promo and get everything together. I think he'd be all right. But personally, I don't think they should have split him up with Gable.
So you think they should have kept American Alpha together?
Yeah, I think they would have been all right, especially if Gable would have went to Raw. They was all right as NXT tag champs. I mean, their matches with Revival was, they was all right,
Yeah, they had great matches with Revival.
I feel like they got up to main roster and they kind of just lost their hype.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you can definitely tell the difference between NXT and the main roster because you look at people like Bayley, like even like Nakamura, like the Ascension, even like like I said, American Alpha. Those guys were extremely over in NXT, but then they come up to the main roster. It's different because Triple H runs NXT, Vince McMahon runs the main roster. So whatever he says has to go. You know what I mean? It's not like it's just different. But I like Jason Jordan. Like I said, he's just stale right now. He needs a character. Him and Seth Rollins would have a great match though. Their match would be absolutely good. They would have a really good match at WrestleMania. But
I feel like there wouldn't be no hype behind them because no one really.
Yeah, I feel like the build up wouldn't be really hyped.
It'd just be like one of them like plain crowd reactions, like, that was good,
Yeah, I feel like people wouldn't be invested in the build up.
No, it's just good. I mean, everybody's invested in Seth. I mean, he's over, like crazy.
Yeah,
they gonna obviously want Seth to, pin Jordan, but I mean, I feel like I said, once Jason Jordan.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I could see Jason Jordan beating Seth Rollins for real.
I think that would probably get him, a
to
little
where he
bit
needs to
of
be.
momentum, a little swing in there, a little bit.
But he has to turn heel though. He has to be a bad guy if he's gonna fight Seth Rollins. Like he has to be a heel.
Yeah.
Can't be a face and then go in there. It's just not gonna. Especially if he's gonna beat Seth at WrestleMania, he's gonna have to be heel because people obviously are not gonna like that. So he needs to be a bad guy where he get a lot of heat on himself.
Like I feel like with the whole storyline going on like that's him, being Kurt's son. I feel like Kurt needs to go help him in his matches at Mania. Make him turn into like a heel turn, almost like
Right.
over like that. It's cheap heat, but it'll be something for him to work with.
So I'm sure we talk about. I'm sure. So you're real big on the Nakamura and AJ match, which I'm sure.
Oh yeah,
I'm
most
sure
definitely.
the entire world is.
I'm ready to see that. Like after they teased it at Money in the Bank a little bit, I was like, yeah, I need to see this like 1-on-1.
Have you seen the match they had at New Japan? Did you guys see that?
I did not see that match they had in New Japan, but I heard it was lit.
You go on YouTube and watch it. It's on YouTube. It's in Japanese because you won't understand it, but you have to watch it. It's on YouTube, and it's one of the best matches I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up.
That made me even more hyped. For I was like, yeah, this match is gonna be great.
Oh,
That
yeah.
match should definitely be hype. What do you think they're gonna do with Randy Orton? Because right now he's not doing anything. They don't have any. He's not in any type of feud or anything right now.
I feel like since he then had his championship feud last year at Mania, I feel like he's just coasting right now. I don't feel like they're gonna have him do anything. They had him do something, with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn not too long ago, but that wasn't really much of anything either.
So who do you think he could work with? Do you think he could work with Kevin? I think he could work with Kevin Owens at WrestleMania. I'd like to see that. Him, Kevin Owens.
Yeah, that'd be good. That would be good. Like I'd rather have him in something than nothing at all.
Yeah, well, Randy definitely he got to be part of WrestleMania. I mean, he's Randy Orton, so
Yeah.
I think him and Kevin Owens feud would be really good, especially um, on SmackDown. They kind of teased that him and Sami Zayn were going to break up soon. So because next week on SmackDown, Kevin and Sami are going to fight, and the winner is going to face AJ Styles at Fastlane. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of leaning more towards Kevin, but I think they might let Sami get this one because they already had the Kevin and Styles matchup. And it could kind of, if Sami wins, it could kind of, Owens could kind of want to turn on him because, he can get the whole jealousy thing.
Yeah.
But if that happens, then it'll probably be Kevin and Sami at WrestleMania, which will probably be pouring out. So I don't know. The only other person I could honestly see working with at WrestleMania would be Bobby Roode, but Bobby Roode's not a heel right now. He's the U.S. champion, and he's not a bad guy like he was in NXT, which is weird. I forget when he got called up, he just all of a sudden turned into a face, which is kind of weird to me. I didn't understand that.
I feel like, with Bobby Roode at Mania, I think he needs to try Dolph one more time. Bro, I feel like Dolph needing this little push. Like, when he came back at Rumble, it's just, I think he needs it. Like, Dolph deserves it for real. He's one hell of a worker.
See, Dolph Ziggler, to me, will go down as probably the most underrated superstar to ever step foot in the WWE ring. He's so undervalued, so underused. It blows my mind.
Yes, sir. Like his match with The Miz at No Mercy 2016 was probably the best match I've seen, the best Intercontinental match I've seen in a long time.
And the build up was great. He has great match. He's great at selling. Mm-hmm. He's great on the mic. He's great in the ring. He's just great all around. He's basically, honestly, he reminds me a lot of Shawn Michaels a little bit. He reminds me like a lot of Shawn Michaels. I see a lot of Shawn Michaels in him. I'm not saying he is. I'm not saying he is like the modern day Shawn Michaels. I'm saying I see a lot of Shawn Michaels in him.
Yeah, I see it. I can see it. Like he's like the underdog in WWE. Like I feel like he needs one more title reign, like one more like big one. If he ever decides to leave the company, at least he has that one big moment.
Yeah, it's just I don't know, man. Dolph Ziggler is just so undervalued. It's just crazy to me, like how he gets pushed, but then he just like fades away. I don't understand it.
I don't either. Like I haven't been feeling what they've been doing with them lately. Like when he was mocking everybody's entrances and stuff, I'm like, okay, where is this even leading to?
Right. And then he won the U.S. title, but then he gave it up the 2 nights later on SmackDown.
Yeah, that's why I was just like, I'm like, what they doing with the kid,
Cause he won the U.S. title, and I was actually happy for him. I was like, damn, like, cause I didn't think he was gonna win. I was like, oh, he actually, y'all got the belt, like, and nobody. Then he comes out and then he gives it up, and I'm like, why? I don't
Yeah,
understand.
I can say Dolph is probably one of the performers that keep me on my toes. If I'm sitting there watching, I'd be like just sitting there like clinging on. I'm like, damn, like this shit's like mad good right now.
Yeah, we got this dude named Broken Empire. He's a subscriber to my channel. He's watching it right now. He said that he commented and said that he feels like Orton could be thrown in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal right now because what they're doing with him at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do. I mean, they ain't doing anything else. Might as well try to throw him up in there.
Come on, man. If they told Randy Orton we want you to be in the Battle Royal, he's probably gonna be like, bro, don't put me on WrestleMania. I'm not even gonna, just don't put me on the card.
I mean, like, it's either, I understand, him being like, as high in the company as he is, especially being one of SmackDown Live's, top elite up in there. Of course he's going to want a big match, even if it's a singles match, a title match, or, but, I mean, it's something.
I just don't think he'd be acceptable of being on the pre-show. I don't think he'd be cool with that. He'd probably lose his mind. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. Because, I mean,
So,
he's always used to being on top.
yeah, for sure. And there's not that many. I mean, I don't know who else he can work with on SmackDown. I mean, Kevin Owens, they haven't done a Randy and Kevin Owens feud yet, so I'm down for that. That would be a good feud. I'd be cool with Bobby Roode feud, but Bobby Roode's on a heel, so I just don't know. I just don't know who else he could possibly work with on SmackDown. I mean, Baron Corbin. How do you feel about Baron Corbin?
He's really, I think he's talented as hell. I feel like he's kind of underrated too, a little bit. He's up there. When you talk about the top on SmackDown Live, he's up there with him.
How did you feel about when he cashed in Money in the Bank and lost?
I feel like they just punked him out right there. Like, I feel like with that though, my theory is I'm like, okay, they made Baron Corbin lose his Money in the Bank contract, so I feel like with the women, Carmella, they gonna have her cash in and win.
Right. And the thing is, with the WrestleMania card, man, you have so many stars now. You have to fit on there because they got to fit Triple H in there. They're gonna fit John Cena in there, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Randy Orton's gonna be him. He's gonna be on there. I mean, he's a star. They got to fit AJ Styles in there. You got to fit all these stars. And then you got to put the women in there now because the women are a big part of the show now. And you got the tag teams.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got to think. You got to present the Hall of Famers at WrestleMania because you got the Hall of Fame thing going on.
Yeah.
So it's so much that you have to fit. It's crazy, man. And then this year they're talking about The Undertaker versus John Cena.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you how I feel, and you tell me how you feel about it. Me personally, The Undertaker is one of my top 5 favorite wrestlers ever. The Undertaker is my second favorite wrestler of all time behind John Cena.
Mm-hmm.
Undertaker is the greatest character in WWE history. I don't think that's even up for discussion. There's no better character probably than The Undertaker.
Right.
But the fact is that nobody can escape Father Time. The man's old, and the man will be 53 by WrestleMania this year. You can't,
like
you can, even though he looks pretty healthy. He's got long hair again. He looks healthy when he has his coat and stuff on, like when he has the gear on and stuff like that. But you can tell that his body shape is different. He's got a gut on him now. He's got a little bit of a gut on him now. You can tell. You can see. By his face that he's aged. You can. I mean, obviously you can just tell. You can tell when somebody gets older, and you can't escape that. But it's just the fact that I'm upset that WWE even waited this long to even tease this match. Like, why was this match not even thought of 6 years ago when both guys were at their top?
Right. Honestly, like I said, my opinion on it, I feel like WWE just need to let Taker go. The man's getting old. He can't move like he used to. I feel like when Brock broke the streak at WrestleMania 30, that should have been it. There should have been no other WrestleMania after that.
I always thought that Undertaker would either retire when the streak ended or when he reached 25-0. One of the two. Whatever came first, I felt like he was gonna retire to that.
Right.
And when he lost to Brock, I felt like he came back because one, the match didn't live up to the potential that was. Cause like I told you earlier, he got hurt in that match. He got knocked out, so he
Yeah.
didn't know where the hell he was at.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just I feel like he's still trying to hang on too much. And I respect the man for what he's done for the business of wrestling. I mean, he's a pioneer, he's a legend. The man's been around longer than we've been alive. You know what I mean? That's crazy. The man's been around damn near 30 years. But he's had 2 hip replacements. He's had all type of injuries on his body, all type of surgeries. The man's had two broken eye sockets before. He's had busted up ribs. I remember before the Elimination Chamber match in 2010 when he got burned by his pyro. He had like 3rd-degree burns when that pyro blew up in his face.
Yeah.
And he continued to like he just wrestled the match with like 3rd-degree burns. Like who does that? Like who does that?
I mean, that's a legend of his prime right there. That's why I have immense amount of respect for Undertaker and what he's done for the WWE. It would not be the WWE without Undertaker at all.
Yeah, I agree. It's just the only thing that got me down on Taker is after watching this match with Roman last year, man. You know, I felt like the one he had with Shane the year before wasn't bad. The match wasn't a great match, but it wasn't a bad match. But the only thing that really made that match is when Shane jumped off the Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, his crazy ass. Like that definitely just made it for me, you know.
Yeah, that match just made the whole match right there.
Right.
But his match with Roman last year, it was hard to watch, man. There were so many botches in the match, so many screw ups. Roman tried to do what he could, you know. I mean, he carried the whole match. I mean, he pretty much carried the whole match. He had to, and he did what he could, you know what I'm saying. But it's just so many. I remember like when Taker went to pick him up for the last ride, and he just couldn't even do it. Like he just couldn't even pick the man up. He couldn't even do it right. He couldn't even get him for the tombstone, and it was just.
Yeah.
It was brutal.
It was pretty messy, you know. That's why I say, you know, I love Undertaker. I have so much respect for him. But I feel like when the streak broke, I feel like Undertaker should have just departed ways after that. You paid your dues, you know.
Yeah, he has nothing. The man has nothing else to prove in wrestling. Like, there's nothing else for him to do.
Nothing at all. I mean, him from the fan, he was in the first Hell in a Cell match, first Buried Alive match. I mean, only man with a consecutive streak like that at WrestleMania. There's nothing else that he could really do.
Exactly. And the fact that, like, it really, when the streak ended, like you said, he should have retired because the only reason he really came back every year was for the streak. That was it. There was nothing else he had to defend for. There was nothing else he had to fight for. Was for that. Now that streak is gone, there's nothing for you to prove anymore. There's nothing for you to fight for anymore.
I feel like that would just been the perfect way for him to end out with Brock into the streak and then him getting in that Hall of Fame. Hopefully by this year, you know, either this year or next year, he's
well,
up
he
in that
won't.
Hall of Fame.
If he's gonna wrestle this year, he won't be in it this year. But he could, if he retires this year, he'll get inducted next year. But he'll be He'll be the first one announced.
Better be. Like when I was seeing that, you know, when they, you know, announced that the Dudley Boys was getting you know, in the Hall of Fame this year, like I said, well deserved too. One of the best tag teams in WWE as well.
Yeah, right now all they got is the Dudley Boys and Goldberg. Those are the only two.
Yeah.
I've heard that JBL is a potential. That Ivory is a potential. And there were some other people I can't really remember. Mark Henry was one.
Yeah, that I was gonna say he definitely needs to be in that Hall of Fame.
I want to see why I need to ask them why isn't Sable in the Hall of Fame? Why is she not in the Hall of Fame? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
You know what? I'll be thinking about that, and you know, it's sad to say, I feel like they're not gonna induct her unless she's in there with DX.
Yeah, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Why is she not in? Because she's married to Brock. Brock will be in the Hall of Fame. Why is she not gonna be? Why is she not in the Hall of Fame?
You know, for real, I don't even know. Like, that's crazy for real. I mean, because she's done, you know, so much to, you know, elevate for the women as well. I mean, it was bomb up in the ring.
Right, and she was you talking about the women's evolution. She was a huge part of that back in the 90s. People were were big on Sable back then, man. So I don't know if she
Definitely.
got like I don't know if she has beef with anybody there. I don't know, but she needs to be in the Hall of Fame. She needs to be in
Yeah,
there.
I say yeah.
Demolition
Really
needs to be in there
does.
too, because I don't know why Demolition's not in there.
Uh,
China needs to be in there because I don't know why China's not in the Hall of Fame either.
That's
Um,
exactly what I'm about to just talk about too with China. Like I feel like she should have been inducted into the Hall of Fame.
the only
Like
reason
at least 2017.
the only reason that she hasn't been there because she started doing adult films after a while, and
I mean,
then she has beef with Triple H. She used to date Triple H before Stephanie got married. She got married to Stephanie.
I remember I was seeing her videos on YouTube before she passed away. Just wanting to reach out to WWE. She was wanting a chance. She was wanting to get on TV, work with Vince and Triple H. Nobody will respond to her. But the minute she dies, then everybody wants to show their condolences and all that. I thought that was real, petty on WWE's part. Y'all bring everybody else back, but y'all ain't gonna bring the woman who literally made almost the women's division the way it is now.
Right, and
That was the first woman to ever hold a male dominated title.
right. She was the Intercontinental. She was the Intercontinental champion. Come on, man.
Like y'all can't sleep on that. There's no way. Like when they was gonna induct a woman into the Hall of Fame last year, I really thought it was gonna be China. I was disappointed when it was Beth Phoenix. Sure, I mean Beth Phoenix has done a lot for the women's division as well. I mean, she was one of the women that was in the first I Quit match with Melina.
Right.
Her matches with her and Mickey James was always really good on point. But I felt like it was just a shot at China. Oh, we can't induct China, but so here's Beth Phoenix.
Right. I think she'll be in there eventually. It'll be the only part that really sucks now. She'll never get to see it because she's dead now. So she'll never know.
I feel like the only way that she will be inducted into the Hall of Fame, she's inducted with the whole entire DX. Like that, I feel like the only way that she'll be in the Hall of Fame. She won't be in there solely by herself.
You don't think so?
No. I feel like they've been punking her out for so long. Now that she done passed away, they
Well,
feel
I
like
mean, I don't know because they put Macho Man in there and they put Ultimate Warrior in there. All those guys had a lot of history with WWE as well. So I mean, it took them a long time to do it, but they did it eventually.
Yeah, but I feel like with that important, part of women's history right there, y'all can't just leave out China. Like, I like how they put Miss Jacqueline up in there, as Hall of Fame. Like, that's well deserved too.
Yeah, Miss
Like I said, she's
Jacqueline.
another woman to hold a male dominated title. She was a cruiserweight champion.
Right. Yeah,
I think,
Jacqueline definitely deserved to be in there.
but I feel like if it was anybody else, like these past couple years, I feel like it should have been China, like right after Trish and Lita.
Yeah, I would agree, man. China definitely deserves to be in there. I think she'll be in there eventually. I don't know. From what I hear, it's probably not gonna be this year. I don't know. They have Ivory going in there. Ivory's great, but and she Ivory did a lot for the women's division too. But to me, I can think of a lot of other people than Ivory. I mean, and you think I could put like Tori Wilson. I put Tori Wilson in there before I put Ivory. I would put a Candice Michelle in there before I put Ivory. I definitely would put a Sable in there before I put Ivory. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I get what you're saying, but with Ivory, I mean, she's put in work too. Like I said, I'm gonna go back to the China reference. I mean, her and China's feud from Royal Rumble 2001 to WrestleMania was really good. I feel like it wasn't the best thing, but I mean, she cemented herself in history with that too.
Another subscriber on my channel. Her name's Lauren. She wants to know your favorite match from the Rumble. At the Rumble.
This
My
year,
my my favorite match, if we're not gonna count the Royal Rumble matches, I think the women's Royal Rumble was better than the men's. But my favorite match would probably have been the AJ Styles Kevin Owens Sami Zayn match.
not counting the Rumble matches, like I said, because the women's Royal Rumble match, it just blew my whole mind for real. I think that everything was laid out perfectly. But I would say probably, honestly, I think that was probably my favorite match of the whole night. Everything else went solely good, but that women's Royal Rumble that was monumental. You can't beat that.
Yeah, the women's Royal Rumble was. I was a little concerned because when I found out it was going to be the main event, I had my worries, I had my doubts because I was like, man, how are they going to be able to fit up the top rope? Like, how are they going to? I was just worried, had my concerns, but by the end of the match, I was like, man, that was a really good Rumble. That was probably one of the best Rumbles I've seen in a long time.
I just hope they keep doing it like consistently every Royal Rumble. They should have a women's Royal Rumble now. Like
Yeah, I think that's.
at one time.
I think the women's Royal Rumble will for sure go every year. I think. How do you feel about the? Because you said you missed Raw. They have for the. They're also going to do for the first time. They're doing a women's elimination chamber.
Oh, that's about to be dope. That is about to be dope. I wish it was for the SmackDown roster though, but the Raw women's roster. I mean, anything first ever for the women is going to be one of the best, hands down. They know how to perform when it's first ever. They be out there killing it better than the guys do.
How do you think? So how do you think? What are your thoughts on Ronda Rousey? I honestly, I'm happy she's there. I've been waiting for her honestly to come to WWE for a minute, and they said she signed a full-time deal, so she's gonna be there full-time, not like she's gonna be there part-timer. I'm very interested to see how. First of all, I want to see how she can do in the ring. I want to see how she can do on the mic. I want to see how she's gonna play out overall over round, because she's a mega star outside of wrestling. Like she revolutionized pretty much women in UFC. So the fact that she's in WWE right now is pretty cool for me. I would like to see what they had planned for her, what's gonna go on with her. I'm very interested to see how this is gonna play out for her, because this is different from UFC, even though it's physical, but this is entertainment. So I'm very interested to see how things plan out for her. But how do you feel about her coming to WWE?
I mean, I ain't really feeling it too much because I feel like I said, the way the women's going, they ain't gonna need somebody who's outside of their business for real coming in there and just taking it. Everything
Right.
they worked hard for. So, I mean, I want to see how it works out for real because, how she left at the Rumble. I'm like, okay, this might be a little bit interesting. But to me, I feel like, I don't think the women's division really needs her. Like, she's revolutionized for women, in sports and UFC. Yeah, like, I mean, that's dope as hell. But I feel like with the women now in WWE, I feel like they don't need nobody outside of their business coming in there and just trying to take over.
So you feel like are you worried about her like stealing the spotlight from all the women?
Basically, yeah. I mean, I seen the tweet that WWE posted out was like, everything they've been waiting for after the Royal Rumble, been talking about Ronda Rousey, and I've been seeing some of the women tweeting that was in the Rumble was like, okay, but what about the women's Royal Rumble? They actually main evented. I seen that a lot of people got a little upset about that, and I was feeling it because I'm like, okay, everybody was talking about the women's Royal Rumble after that night was over. Y'all gonna just mention that Ronda Rousey part? Like, that just feels like she's already about to take over.
Right.
I ain't really feeling it, but I do want to see how it goes.
Exactly. I mean, obviously Ronda, she could if she wants to do UFC, she could stay there. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, this is what she wants to do. This is something that she's wanted to do for a while. That's why she's there now. If she wanted to go back to MMA, she could have went back to UFC a while ago and kept fighting. But this is obviously she's obviously a big fan like all of us, and this is something that she's obviously thought about for a while. I mean, because she was at Wrestlemania, she's been at a lot of events, and they've kind of teased her here and there. So I feel you on still on the whole spotlight. Cause obviously she's a big star, so she's gonna get a big push.
Yeah.
She's gonna get that push.
Yeah.
But as far as her still in the spotlight, I don't know. I feel like we'll have to see how she does overall first, because she can't just come in there and just start selling her spotlight if she's not that talented. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I commend her. I mean, you going after something that you really want to go for it. I'm all about that. Get to your bag, get what you really want to do. Like, I mean, I seen Shayna Baszler. She was in the Mae Young Classic and she killed it with Kairi Sane.
Yeah, she's killing it in NXT right now too.
Yeah, I mean, like her match with her and Ember Moon. I'm glad that she did not get the title, but I'm glad she kind of made her dominance personified.
Yeah, that was a really good finish for that match.
Yeah, like I was really feeling it, especially I have to get shout out to Ember after that, after coming in there with an injured arm, still competing at the Royal Rumble. Like that's amazing.
Yeah, I'm really just I don't know, man. Ronda Rousey, we've never seen her compete in the ring before. We don't even know how we don't even know if she can wrestle in the ring. We don't even know if she can cut promo. We don't even know what type of stuff she can possibly do. So I got my hopes up for it.
Right. I definitely feel that. I understand that. Like I hope she does well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. So right now I don't know if you know I can't see. Okay, there you go. Your camera was off. I don't know if you turned it off
Yeah.
or not.
I was about to say, yeah, I gotta get that stuff right there.
Um. So Ronda, how do you feel about Ronda and The Rock versus Triple H and Stephanie? That's what's rumored going around right now.
I feel like it definitely like one, I said it don't make sense. You know, coming from WrestleMania 31, that standoff they had, I mean, that was huge. I mean, so I mean it would just make sense, you know, for them to capitalize on that moment that they had back at WrestleMania 31.
Yeah. I agree. How do you feel about Roman versus Brock in the main event? That's pretty much what's pretty much gonna go. They said Roman's supposed to win the Elimination Chamber, and then he's gonna go face Brock at Mania.
See, the only thing about that is that I mean that match has already been done. Sure, there wasn't no finish to it because after Seth, you know, cashed in same night WrestleMania 31, I just feel like it was, you know, it's redundant to have another one. You know, the fans has already seen it. You know, it's gonna be probably Roman going over, if anything. I mean, it's just to
Do
me,
you like
honestly,
Roman? How do you feel about Roman Reigns? You like Roman Reigns?
I do, I really do, but I feel like he's like Vince's golden boy. Like he gets pushed so hard. I got mad respect for the dude because he goes through so much heat. It's crazy just by even talking to the fans. Like I got respect for him, like out the ass. I really do, but I feel like he gets pushed way too much.
Yeah, Roman definitely gets pushed really hard. Basically he's basically like he's gonna be like another John Cena really. I mean it's crazy how you never really thought that there would ever be anybody as controversial as John Cena. Roman Reigns, I think Roman Reigns might take the cake for that.
I, yeah, I swear, I swear he will. You know, I feel like he will be. You know, when John Cena, you know, is done and over with his career, when he hangs up his boots, I feel like he will be the next John Cena.
Yeah, I think Roman. I mean, I think it's safe to say now. I think Roman's pretty much the man now. I mean, John's obviously not around as much as he used. He's not full time anymore. So I think Roman's he's pretty much the guy of the company now. But man, those are some hard shoes to fill, though, man. Because you got to think John Cena was on top for so long. I mean, nobody, whether you like John Cena or not, there was really nobody who ever was on top as long as he was. I mean, he was on top for well. That's why people hated him so much because he wasn't like Hogan was on top for a long time, but then he left. And then he went to WCW, and then he turned the bad guy. Ultimate Warrior was on top for a while. All those guys were Shawn Michaels. All those guys were on Stone Cold, The Rock. They were on top for a while, but never as long. I mean, John Cena was pretty much the face since 2005. Since he won the belt at WrestleMania 21 from JBL, he was pretty much the go-to guy, and
Oh yeah,
he's been the
yeah,
guy since.
most definitely. I mean, he's been going hard and strong for over 10 years. There ain't nobody like John Cena. There'll never be nobody like John Cena. But I feel like when it's said and done and it's over for John, I feel like Roman is gonna be that John Cena for the next generation. Be down there, you know, busting his tail 10 plus years. I feel like he can do it.
Yeah, a lot of people. There are people are commenting. They're saying they can't stand. They hate Roman. They're already talking about it. They're already saying they hate Roman. They're already going at it.
I know everybody like everybody feeling ain't feeling Roman, but you gotta respect the man for what he's been doing. I mean, he's been killing it lately.
Man, I'm with you, man. I like Roman Reigns. I've liked Roman Reigns since he was in the Shield.
Right.
I never.
I,
The only thing, the reason why people don't like him is it's the booking that they give him. All right, because if you remember, he didn't really start getting booed until he won the Royal Rumble back in 2015, and that
right.
was the Royal Rumble that Daniel Bryan had came back in, but he got eliminated early. Once Daniel Bryan got eliminated, people lost their minds. They were losing their ever minds for no reason. Didn't understand it. The man lost. I was like, all right, because once he lost, I was like, all right, Roman's gonna win now. Now that Daniel Bryan's out, Roman's gonna win. But once Daniel Bryan got eliminated, it was like people literally lost their minds.
Right. Yeah, I'm feeling that, but even all that, you can't deny the man of his accolades. He's put in work for the WWE. Whether
And
they
he's
like
and
him or
he's
not, they gotta
great.
respect him.
He's not a bad wrestler either. He has great matches.
I just feel like with the Jason Jordan thing too, he just needs to work on his promo. Like he,
Yeah, Roman's promos aren't the best either. He's great in the ring, but his promos aren't the best. I remember. Did you see the promo he had with John Cena?
oh yeah, John tore him a new one, and I kind of felt bad for Roman too. I was
Woo,
like, damn.
boy. Whoa, man, I was feeling honestly, man, I was feeling for Roman that day. I was like, it was a tough night in the office that day because John Cena was lighting his ass up.
Yes, I
Cause
feel like
John Cena can go on the mic. He can talk on the mic all day, so that was nothing for him.
I feel like John Cena probably has the best mic skills in the whole WWE. Like his feud building up to WrestleMania 33 with Miz and Maurice. I feel like that whole back and forth was
Oh
just
yeah, that was.
perfect.
I remember when that match was first announced. I wasn't even big. I was like, what the hell? Like, I don't want to see this match. People did not want. People weren't big on that. Like the Miz and Maurice versus John Cena. And they were like, what?
Yeah.
Nobody want to see this. But the build up was. Whoa, the build up had me really invested. I was like, okay, nah, I'm into this now. That build up was insane.
Yeah, I figured, everybody wasn't feeling it. When they first announced it, I was feeling it. I was like, all right, Maurice ain't been in action in over 5+ years. Nikki's about to be on her first WrestleMania without her sister. I thought it was going to be good, but the buildup was something I did not expect at all. It just made the feud even more enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, I would. The build up was nice, and because the Miz can go on the mic too. The Miz I feel like is really underrated too. The Miz is honestly I've come to respect the man, and I've come to like him because I remember years back when he cashed in Money in the Bank and won the title. I couldn't stand him. I didn't understand like why he was the champion. I'm like why does this guy have the belt? Like he's not even nobody likes him. Like nobody cares about this guy. Why is he at the championship? But he's put in so much work. His mic skills are phenomenal, and he has great matches too. Honestly, this year I honestly feel like he'll be Universal Champion this year at some point.
I really hope he does deserve a world title push. I mean, I respect the man. I mean, coming from basically nothing almost, coming to the WWE, and he worked his ass off to make a name for himself. I mean, no days off, really. I've never seen the Miz not injured, not once in WWE.
Right, and
Like,
he works extremely hard. He's improved on a lot of things. You remember when he first came and he would wear like shorts and he had like mohawks and he
yeah,
was like
yeah.
wearing like gloves and shit. You never would have thought this guy would have been a star then. You would have looked at that guy like, what the hell? Who is this? Who is this guy?
Yeah, yeah. That was crazy. But now looking at him now, I'm like, this dude is top talent, whether he's on Raw or SmackDown. Like he's killing it on both.
Yeah, Miz definitely deserves a big push, Universal title push. I think right now he's the Intercontinental Champion,
Mm-hmm.
but this is what I've been hearing. They said that he's supposed to get a monster push at WrestleMania, but you're never gonna believe who they're gonna have him face.
I heard, Roman, but then I heard a little bit of just a whole lot of extra. But I did hear first about him and Roman at Mania, and I was like, well, that might be all right.
Well, it's not Roman. It's not Roman because Roman's gonna face Brock.
Yeah.
You're not honestly. When I heard the person that he's possibly facing, I felt bad for him. I was like, he's gonna get destroyed.
Who they talking about he's about to face?
They're talking about him facing Braun Strowman.
Oh shit. Well, he can kiss that little push goodbye. I mean, that's a great set at WrestleMania, but it's gonna be over.
And the fact that him and Braun, that's not a believable match to me. I'm sorry. I like both guys a lot, but to me, if the Miz is gonna face anybody, I would like to see him face Finn Balor.
Yeah, that would be really nice.
Him and Finn Balor would be a really good match, I think. And for Braun Strowman, if he's gonna be in this mixed tag match, I'm cool with that. If they can't get The Rock, I'm cool with that. That he can be in the mixed tag match, get something for him to do, and I think they could really make it work. But if The Rock is gonna be at Mania, I would like to see Braun Strowman face John Cena because I don't want to see John Cena versus Undertaker. I'm sorry, I just don't want to see that match.
That would be nice, but I feel like anytime you put John Cena in a match for real, it's hardly rare that he will lose, especially it's Mania.
Exactly. That's why I would like to see the match because you wouldn't know. I like matches that you can't predict, and that would be
Yeah,
a match that you don't know what will happen. You can't predict it
right.
because
I feel the same.
Braun Strowman's getting he's getting pushed real hard. John Cena's obviously he's the guy. He's got a lot of stroke on him. You know what I'm saying? He's got a lot of under his belt. He's got a lot of superstar. He's got a lot of superstardom around him. You know what I mean? So
Right.
if they fought, I would be really invested in that match because that's a match you can't predict. You can't see how that goes.
Not at all. Like that would be actually, a pretty good match. It's something that you wouldn't expect at all.
I mean, they were supposed, from what I heard, they were supposed to do John Cena versus Samoa Joe, but Samoa Joe got hurt, which is why he was not in the Royal Rumble. And they don't know. They said his injury won't require any surgery, but they don't know when he's supposed to be back. So if he's not back before Mania, I mean, if he can be back for Mania, then I'm down for Samoa Joe John Cena. You know what I'm saying? I'm down for that.
Oh
But
yeah. That man's a beast too. I almost forgot about Samoa Joe. I ain't seen him on WWE TV in so long. It's been since what Great Balls of Fire since the last time he was wrestling.
no. He was supposed to be in the Rumble. He had a match on Raw with
Mm-hmm.
I want to say like Titus O'Neil or something like Titus O'Neil or like Apollo Crews, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But he got, I don't know, I guess he got a neck injury or something. It wasn't like anything serious. They said it won't require any surgery. But yeah, they said that his injury was pretty severe, and that he's the same with Jason Jordan. Jason Jordan said he had a neck injury right now too, and that which is why which is why he wasn't on Raw Monday. He wasn't on Raw Monday, and they don't know how serious his injury is. It's crazy, and all these neck injuries, man, they got going on with WWE, man.
The past few years has been the year of injuries. Like I feel like, I mean, it's good. You guys, y'all working 300 days a year, but I mean that takes a toll on somebody's body. That's why you see there's so many wrestlers that's injured right now. Like I'm pretty sure when Paige got injured, it's because she went on a damn live event.
Yeah, she got hurt by a live event by Sasha Banks.
Like it's some live events that really be the trip. That's where people mostly get injured at is live events.
Right, and but I mean, because the WWE they work a crazy schedule, man. I mean, their schedule is it's insane, and I honestly that's why I respect them so much because they barely see their families, they're barely at home, they work so much. You got all these live events you got to go to, and you just travel the world so much. You got to perform for all. There's so many WWE fans all around the world that you just gotta keep up with it, man. And just that's why I say like the fact that that's why I like and respect John Cena so much because the fact that he did it for so long and he was on top, like he was the man, he was the guy, he was the face of the company for so long,
Right.
and his schedule was insane. Like, you gotta think the man never home. He's doing so much for WWE, traveling all around the world, performing all around the world. It's crazy that he even kept up with the schedule that long. Because you got to think that's why the guys who were on top that long have never been on top as long as John Cena. They've never been on top for 15, 16 plus years at an elite level.
No, not at all. Like, man's an incredible dude. I mean, he's a busybody. Like, that's why John Cena he's always gonna be my favorite for real. I mean, that's the first person I first watched when I first started watching WWE. I feel like I said, there's never gonna be no one else like John Cena. Like, it'll
Yeah,
never happen.
there will never be another John Cena. That's for sure. I mean, I think that's just a pretty much that's just a pretty much prediction. You know, there'll never be anybody like John Cena. But Mania, though, man, I'm trying to wrap my mind around some of these matches that they're gonna have because there's so many people they gotta build up on the card,
Mm,
and there's just so many spots you gotta fill in, and I just don't know how you fit all these people like all the women say. So say they have the Ronda tag team match with The Rock and them, but then you got Asuka. She got to pick who she wants to face, and then whoever she doesn't face, she still got to fit something on there for her. You know what I'm saying? Because she's going to still, even if she faces Alexa Bliss, what are we gonna do with Charlotte? Well, who's she gonna face? She got to be at WrestleMania. She's a star.
I feel like what they're gonna do with SmackDown, like what they always do. SmackDown always is good at using their women. So if anything, I mean, I would hate to see, another 6-pack challenge or something like that. But I mean, it works for that SmackDown roster because that's what they always did. But if I
Yeah.
definitely feel like if it was gonna be singles match, I feel like her and Naomi need to finish what they started. Because when Charlotte came to SmackDown Live, they never got to finish that feud.
Yeah, I would like either or Becky Lynch. I would like to see her fight Becky Lynch 1-on-1. That'd be dope.
Yeah, I was about to say. It's been a while too since they really even feuded and say.
But I feel like if Ronda does this tag team match, I feel like she should face Charlotte. I think they need to put her on SmackDown and she gonna fight Charlotte.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way. I'm also feeling like if if they don't do that with Charlotte, put her in there with Ruby Riott. I feel like she's doing real good too, for real. Out of her the little Riott squad, I feel like she's one of the ones I feel like she can hold the title.
So you
Like
think
as of right now,
you real big on Ruby Riott?
I like it. I always did. When she was up in NXT, I always I was like, man, she gonna be good one day. She gonna make it eventually. I didn't think she was gonna be so soon on SmackDown Live. I honestly thought when they brought up, Sonya and Mandy Rose, I thought they should have brought up Billy Kay and Peyton Royce on the SmackDown Live.
Yeah, Billy Kay and Peyton Royce. I'm surprised they haven't been called up yet. They're still down there. That's I think they're just keeping them down there just for some star talent until they find some other women to sign. I guess I'm assuming.
I don't know. I was about to say NXT. I was about to say like I said, them being such big, right now, especially with the women, they've always gave their women time on their matches. I feel like with Billy Kay and Peyton Royce, they gonna wait for them to hold one of them to hold the title first, at least, and then
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
call them up.
How do you feel about they just signed the NXT has got a couple. They signed EC3. They got a couple people down there. They signed War Machine. They got a couple of new talents down there that they did sign. I really wish. Do you watch? Have you seen any like New Japan stuff? You watch New Japan? Any of that stuff?
I haven't watched since I did watch Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho though, and
You did watch that?
Yes, that was really good. Like I didn't expect that at all either. That was probably one of the best wrestling matches, of this year almost, of that year.
Yeah, that's Kenny Omega is to me the best wrestler to not be in WWE right now. Like, he's the best wrestling talent outside of WWE.
Right.
Kenny Omega is legit. He's so good. And I wish he would come to WWE. I hope he comes to WWE at some point. Them and the Young Bucks. I like to the Young Bucks come there too. Because the Young Bucks are a fire tag team. If the Young Bucks were in WWE, they could definitely fight the Usos at WrestleMania. That match would be a phenomenal tag team match.
I feel like too, with the Usos, maybe at Mania, I know Jeff and Matt right now, I know Jeff is injured, but I feel like if it was them and the Hardys, I feel like that'd be really good too.
Yeah, that would be really good because you got two teams. You got two teams who are actually brothers. You know what I'm saying? Matt and Jeff are real life brothers. The Usos are real life brothers, twin brothers. So that would be a really dope match. I could really see that.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
I
I do love what they're doing with Matt though, with the Woken Matt Hardy.
Yeah.
I feel like when he did an Impact, I was like, they're finally letting him do it. Like I was excited because that's when Matt, I mean, he was in his prime with WWE, but when he went to Impact, they was Brother Nero and you Broken Matt Hardy. That's when they thrived, really.
Yeah, when he was Broken Matt Hardy and our brother Nero, that was some dope stuff, man. That guy's, from what I'm hearing, I think they have planned to split them up and put Jeff on SmackDown and have them doing their single thing again.
I feel like that would work. It worked in Impact much, really.
It worked before. It worked before when they were in WWE before. Jeff was before Jeff left in 09. I remember Jeff was super over. He was like probably the most popular star in the company at the time.
Yeah, his match with I believe Triple H was champ at the time. Him and Triple H's feud was nice. I like that.
Yeah. Jeff was always been one of my favorites, man. Him is who would you think? Uh, who do you think is more insane, Shane McMahon or Jeff Hardy?
Shane McMahon.
You think Shane McMahon more insane than Jeff?
That man jump off everything. Like I swear. Like I mean, like in a heartbeat. Don't even think about it. Like that man, he's a lunatic.
Yeah, he jumped off the Hell in a Cell. I was done. I was like, I'm done, man. That's this dude for real. And the fact that he does it, the fact he doesn't even have to do this. And his dad's a billionaire. You know, his dad owns the company. He doesn't have to do any of the shit that he does, but he does it out of
Yeah,
respect for
I
the
just like
company
love
and
how
for the
he
fans.
like he's so into with SmackDown Live. He's such a big part, and he's not like how Stephanie was. She was just GM at the time, just spotting around. Like Shane would actually get in there and fight with the best of them. Like I wish Stephanie would come back and wrestle a little bit more. With her last match being with Brie Bella back in 2014 SummerSlam. I mean, she still has it too.
Yeah, I'd see her and Triple H versus The Rock and Ron. That would be a dope match, man. That would be a really dope match. That build, just like I said, man, The Rock's got the man's got to have the time, man. He's got to have time in the schedule. I know he's filming a movie in May, but WrestleMania is in April, so I mean, he got time for that. So, um, that would be really dope, man. If he really could make it. I hope that he can make it. I hope he can make it to WrestleMania because that match would be one of the matches I'd definitely be looking forward to.
Oh yeah, most definitely, hands down.
And how do you feel about who do you think would win between Nakamura and AJ at WrestleMania?
Mm, damn, that's hard. For real, I got my money on Nakamura.
I'm leaning more towards Nakamura too. I feel like he could take it, but honestly, I'm fine with either of them winning. I don't care who wins.
Yeah,
I
like
don't have.
that's one of them. Be like, I wouldn't care who would win, like, because I know that'd be a good match overall.
I'm fine with either one of those guys winning. Um, either one of those guys would be fine with me. I mean, AJ is top five talent in the company, top five best wrestlers on the planet. Nakamura is a top talent in the company. He's super over. This is a dream match. Like I said, you have to check out the New Japan match they had in 2016 because it was one of the best matches I've ever seen. But
Oh
this
yeah,
match, this match to me is going to be hard for anybody to follow up after. Like whatever spot they have on the card, whether the fourth match, the fifth match, whoever comes out to them is going to be hard for them to follow.
oh yeah, most definitely. I feel like, but I'm leaning towards Nakamura. Really, if it comes down to it, like I like AJ Styles too. I think he's dope. I used to watch AJ Styles too back when TNA was actually really good.
Yeah, I remember
He
TNA
always
used to
had
be.
it. So when he came to Royal Rumble 2016, I was hyped. I was like, okay, WWE finally somebody, new, different almost, and everybody was familiar with them. That's
Yeah,
why
man. Let's talk about TNA. I remember TNA just falling off so much, man. It's crazy. 'Cause I remember back when we were growing up, man. TNA was lit, and I didn't really start watching TNA until Kurt Angle went there. I remember when Kurt Angle first went there, and I was like, what the hell are you doing in TNA? Like, I couldn't believe that. But when he first went to TNA, that's when I really started watching. And then they had Christian, and they got Rhino, and they got Booker T. They were getting all the WWE. I was like, man, this is crazy. And then they had Christopher Daniels, they had Kazarian, they had the Motor City Machine Gun, Samoa Joe, Abyss, Matt Morgan. They got Jeff Hardy later. They had Sting. They had all these great talents, man. They had Bobby Roode, James Storm, all these great talents.
I'm trying to think. They had RVD on there too. I remember the first time I watched it, RVD was in a feud with Abyss. This was ever so many years ago, and it seemed so real. Like they would, they used to never really show much blood on WWE. I mean, these dudes in there gushing backstage, like you just felt it. Like, yeah, it's so much better than WWE.
Yeah, I feel like at one point TNA was having better storylines than WWE at one point. I wouldn't say it was better than WWE overall, but I thought they were having better storylines for sure. because their storylines weren't PG. You know, they would have PG storylines. So
Yeah. I feel like what was good about TNA, other than their, their men's division, the way they booked their women since day one. Like, I think the only one that I really paid attention to much was Gail Kim when she was in TNA.
yeah, the
Like, I mean,
Gail Kim
woman,
was dope.
this woman had ladder matches, last woman standings matches, all when the women in WWE was still doing almost bra and panty matches and battle royals. Like,
Yeah,
it just made
yeah,
me think, like, okay, like, I'm feeling this side, I hated that she left WWE. That's one person I wish that was in the Women's Royal Rumble was Gail
Gail
Kim.
Kim. Yeah, I like Gail Kim. I like Victoria too. Victoria when she went to TNA when she was
Oh
there,
yeah,
I was real big on Victoria.
that made me
Um,
sick when I realized she wasn't there. She paved way too.
yeah,
Like I feel like they missed out so many other women that was in there that like Kelly. Like I understand, she was in there. I feel like you could have swapped her out with like Victoria or Jazz at least, or somebody like Gail Kim. I feel like she didn't do like
yeah,
much in the women's division, but I mean, she was a part of that division that tried to get on screen time and they couldn't, only having 1 2 minute matches.
yeah.
So I felt
Jazz
like it was
was.
well deserved on that part because I mean, she was one of the parts of the women that was like, okay, you go out here, do your entrance, you have 2 minutes, and then like they had a roll with it.
Yeah, Jazz used to be. I forgot about Jazz, but TNA. I remember they had ODB. They
Oh,
had they had the beautiful people. Was it Velvet Sky
Love,
and
Velvet
Angelina
Sky.
Love? Yeah, it was. They were really dope. And then they had they had Awesome Kong. Remember her? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Oh
Or
yeah. I feel like
Karma in WWE.
WWE. Yeah, I was about to say WWE punked her out too. I was glad when she went to Impact. And like I said, with her feud with, like I said, with Gail Kim, I think they had one of the best feuds in TNA women's history, hands down.
Her name was Awesome Kong. That's
Um,
crazy. Like,
yes. I'm trying to
yeah,
think who else.
Awesome Kong
Mickey.
was.
If I say Mickey James was on TNA at one point in time too.
Yeah, Mickey James was there, and they had a couple of people. Who else was in that women's division? I'm trying to remember all the women that they had that used to be really good over there, man.
Like I said,
I
they
can't
had
remember.
they had Jacqueline over there. Miss Jackie Moore. She was on there when it first, TNA started getting off the ground.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
Um,
trying to think who else. There's a couple people I can't remember their names though, man.
Like I said, there was Ariel. Like I said, she went by her real name, Shelly Martinez. She was on there.
Yeah, yeah. I forgot about Ariel.
Trying to think, that was most of the women that was really on there. Like they didn't really have no. Well, China, she made an appearance on TNA a few times before her passing back in
Yeah,
2000.
yeah. China did. Then they had a lot of great tag teams too, man. The X division was live.
Oh
I used to
yeah,
love
most definitely. Like
I used to love the X division, man. I remember Kazarian where he was Kaz at one point. Then it was Kazarian. That was my dude right there, man.
yeah,
Kazarian was my dude.
yes,
Him. Um. Who else was it? Suicide.
yeah,
Um. Amazing Red. I used to love Amazing Red, dude. Amazing Red was dope.
yep.
They had a who were some other people they had? The Motor Machine Guns were in there.
It's just so crazy how a company went like so all the way up, and now looking at it now, it's kind of like, damn, like what happened? Like y'all just like y'all fell completely off.
Yeah, they fell.
I'm glad that EC3 got up out of there. He's back in WWE because he was originally with the like original like NXT back when it was a reality show. So
Yeah,
that
yeah, 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 yeah. I don't know what.
I feel like I'm glad that he's back. Hopefully he goes to WWE main roster already. But if not, I'll be fine with him in NXT for time being.
Yeah, I don't. I feel like who's one talent in TNA that you wish would have been in WWE?
Mm, uh, uh, Moose. That's one of them. That's one of them I can think of on top of my head right now. Moose was like a miniature Bobby Lashley almost. I mean, same strength, power, all that. I feel like Moose would have did really good in WWE. Um.
I would like to see an Abyss, man. I thought Abyss definitely should have been in WWE at some point.
Oh
I
yeah,
heard.
like Abyss and Rosemary and all that. I feel like they would have fit perfect on
Did you
WWE.
hear this? There's a story that Abyss was talking about on a pod. I think he was on a podcast with like Stone Cold or something like that. I can't remember who it was. But Abyss actually, WWE actually wanted Abyss in 2006.
Yeah.
You remember that the Undertaker faced Mark Henry at WrestleMania 22, right, in the casket match.
Yeah.
Abyss was supposed to face the Undertaker at WrestleMania that year. Like they offered him a contract and they wanted him to come work with the Undertaker at WrestleMania, but he turned it down because at the time TNA was kind of getting real big and it was kind of building up, and he wanted to be a part of something special. That's what he said. Even though he knew that TNA wasn't going to be bigger than WWE, they obviously everybody knew that.
Yeah.
But he turned down a match with the Undertaker at WrestleMania. That's crazy.
It is, but I do see his point though. Like he wanted to be a part of something different. WWE's gonna be around forever. I don't think that's never gonna end. Like for him to be solidified in a part of history, being the first original in TNA, you can't erase that.
Yeah. That's crazy. I also wish Sting would have came earlier, man.
Oh, I did too. Like I would want to see Sting and Undertaker, but when we got Sting
Everybody went.
Triple
Everybody went
H,
to
I
see
was
that.
fine with that too.
Everybody went to see Sting versus Taker, man. That was a match that everybody went to see. And I thought they would have made. I thought they were going to make it happen even after he got there, but after all the injury that Sting had, it was just he's too old. He's too old now, so it's too late for all that.
It was good that he
Another,
came back when he did though. Like
yeah, at
close
least he
out his
got
little
at least he
career.
got he got his WrestleMania moment. He got
Yeah.
his WrestleMania match.
Mm-hmm.
He got the whole experience, but he definitely should have came. I mean, he could have came a long time. Just imagine if Sting would have came, after WCW ended in 2001. All the talent that he could have worked with there.
Oh yeah. Oh, what could have been? It's crazy, but like I said, Sting will be always solidified as one of the best in the business. He was just the whole package. I just wish he would have came to WWE sooner though.
So I'm gonna ask you this: Who, if you had to pick a top five, who would your top five favorite wrestlers of all time be?
Oh damn, that's hard. Um.
That doesn't have to be in order.
Okay, so I put John Cena up there along with Batista, Triple H, uh, Rey Mysterio, and Edge. Like that'd be like my top five right there. That's the top five I enjoyed watching the most.
Okay.
I think though, like Rey Mysterio always kept me entertained. I remember I was at a SmackDown taping back in 06, 07 when he fought the Great Khali.
Oh, you were there.
Yeah, I was there, and I remember, Khali did his little chop. They had to take
Is
his
that
mask off.
is that was that the one when he squeezed his head and he like crushed his skull, like when he was bleeding out of his nose and shit?
Yeah, yeah. I remember I was
That,
there for that. That's pretty crazy. But that match, though, even though it wasn't up to expectations, it was actually really good for real.
yeah, I didn't. I remember that, man. I watched it on TV, man. He completely like crushed his skull. That was crazy.
Oh yeah.
If
Still
you
a
had to
hell.
pick if you had to pick two if you had to pick five more for your top five, who would it be? You said Edge, Batista, John Cena, Rey Mysterio, and who else?
Triple H.
Triple H.
Five more. Uh, Shawn Michaels. CM Punk.
CM
Uh,
Punk, man. I wish he had never left, man.
oh, me neither. It's sad. But, I mean, he had hella beef with the company. It was about time. I
Yeah, it was
hated
a
it
mess.
for him the way it ended, but
Yeah, it was all a mess. Big mess.
let's see. Chris Benoit, always and forever will
Chris
be
Benoit.
one of
You
my
a Chris
favorites.
Benoit guy.
Oh God, yes. I enjoyed watching Chris Benoit too. Like I said, Eddie Guerrero, he'll also be another favorite that I will always, cherish about. And one more. Honestly, like I said, him being underrated, we already talked about him earlier, but Dolph Ziggler too. Like I enjoyed all them 10 that I named. I enjoyed watching them all throughout my whole childhood, really, and even up to now. Like amazing. Like when Rey Mysterio came back for Rumble, like so I was like the little 10-year-old in me was just geeking, like
Yeah, yeah, and then that was pretty. I was pretty happy to see Mysterio, man.
Mm,
I remember, yeah, his one of my favorite feuds, man, was him and Eddie Guerrero, 2005, before Eddie Guerrero passed away. When
yeah.
they were doing the whole thing with Rey Mysterio's son and everything, I'll never forget that.
See, I liked the match at SummerSlam. I didn't like the storyline.
Really, you didn't like the whole custody of Dominic thing?
No, I didn't like it, but the match though was on point. I just didn't like
Yeah.
the storyline. I think probably my favorite storyline Rey Mysterio was probably in was the tag team one with Batista and Eminem when they had that steel cage match on SmackDown. That's probably one of my favorite tag team matches of all time.
Yeah, I forgot about Eminem. Eminem was a really good tag team, actually.
Oh yeah, well, I still watch that to this day. That's one of my favorite tag matches. That's why SmackDown's always been probably one of my favorite brands. Like for some reason they always just deliver them underrated matches that you wouldn't think that'd be all like hype, but it's actually really good.
Yeah, SmackDown. I was always a SmackDown guy growing up. I was always Team Blue growing up, man. SmackDown was my show. I remember they had Stack Raw. They had from Big Show to Booker T to John Cena, JBL, Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero. They had Chris Benoit. They had all type. Orlando Jordan was one of my favorites back then. Heidenreich, the
Oh
Basham
yeah,
brothers.
yes,
They had a lot of great tag teams. A lot of great storylines back then, man. It's crazy how times have
yeah,
changed. Now it's all PG, and we grew up in the ruthless aggression era. So
yeah. That's
all
the
that stuff is
sad part, but it just gets back memories to look back on, be like, damn, we grew up through this shit.
right. I remember. One of my bucket lists, man, is to go to WrestleMania, man. I gotta go to WrestleMania one day. One day. Royal Rumble too. Those are two pay-per-views that I have to go to one day the most. Those are ones I really want to go to.
WrestleMania would be one for me, most definitely, and SummerSlam. Honestly,
Yeah, I would definitely like to go to SummerSlam too, because they basically built it up as like the second best pay-per-view of the year. So I would I
that's like
would I would I would definitely like to go to SummerSlam as well.
that is like WrestleMania. That's like Summer's WrestleMania almost.
Right, right.
I
And they
always like
have
that.
I wish how do you feel? How do you feel about WWE being PG? Do you wish? Do you understand it, like why it's PG, or do you kind of wish they would go back to like the old ways, like stuff that we grew up watching?
I do wish they would go back to to being TV 14, but then again, that was a whole new era. They don't have them superstars like they did back then. You know, it's a whole new time for WWE. So I don't mind it PG. I mean, I wish they would be a little bit more edgier with the PG, trying to like push the envelope a little bit more.
Right.
But and like I said, it just gives back memories to fawn back on. Be like, damn, this is what WWE was then. Looking at it now, I mean, it's still growing. Hell, no one knows. It might go back to TV 14 one day. But
Yeah,
I
I said
hell,
this. I said this before. When Vince passes away, it's gonna be a crazy day for wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Like he's the pioneer for he's the reason that WWE is where it is at today because of his vision and what he's done for wrestling.
oh
But
yeah,
but when
most
Vince passes away and Triple H and Stephanie take over, it's gonna be run so differently because I think they have two different mind. Triple H and Vince have two different mindsets of what should go down because you gotta think Triple H is actually a talent at one point. He was a superstar. He knows what it's like, the hunger, the desire that people have to succeed, and he knows kind of who's really good talent, what's not really good talent. He kind of just peeps it, and I think Vince peeps it too. But
yeah,
Vince was never a superstar like Triple H was. You know what I mean? He was never a full-time talent like Triple H was.
right.
So when Vince passes away, I would say it's going to be a sad freaking day, for wrestling fans all around the planet, the universe.
Oh
But
yeah, most definitely. But
it's
I
going to
feel
be a
like
change.
after that, yeah, I was about to say after that, it'll be like a big shift for
Yeah,
WWE, just for wrestling in general.
it's gonna be a monumental change for wrestling. When I think Triple H and them will get rid of PG, the PG stuff once he runs it, once he's got full custody of the company.
I agree. I agree. It'll eventually happen, but then I don't know. You never know.
Yeah. So who are some superstars that you're really invested in right now? Who you like right now on Raw and SmackDown? And
Uh,
you can throw NXT in there too.
well, I really don't watch NXT much unless it's Takeover, but I do like from NXT. I do like Authors of Pain, Adam Cole. I feel like they all been good. From SmackDown, I feel like they need to use him more. Ty Dillinger. I feel like
You like
he's
Ty Dillinger?
yeah. I feel like he's way too underrated. You know, um, let's see. AJ Styles always been invested in him. Kevin Owens. Yeah, like I said, I've always been invested in Dolph too. I just feel like WWE needs to just get the ball rolling with Dolph. Like I don't know, they like it's like a train stop for him. Like feel like every time he gets a push, it gets done for. No reason behind it. It's just like all right, you got the little moment at this pay per view. Now we're just gonna take you off TV for the next 6 months.
Right.
From Raw wise, I mean, I've always been invested into the Miz. I had to grow to love the Miz for real, like I do. Like I think he's a dope talent all the way around. Samoa Joe. Let's see, Elias. I'm really starting to like Elias too.
Yeah, I'm real big on Elias, man. He's one of my favorites for sure. I really like Elias.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I feel like they need to start using him more too, like Apollo Crews. I mean, because back in NXT, he was total package. He got to main roster, got that little push, and it was over for him for real. Like he wasn't doing anything else.
Yeah, yeah. Apollo is real nice. How do you feel about did you hear about the whole Enzo Amore thing?
Oh yeah, he got fired from WWE, didn't he?
Yeah, he was the cruiserweight champion too.
I see. I mean, like I said, it's no excuse for if the allegations was true about Enzo. Of course, yeah, WWE's gonna fire him. Don't nobody want to be, WWE don't be want to be represented by that. But I feel like he made 205 Live so much interesting because I mean it's Enzo.
Right,
Like
right,
no one
right,
ever
right.
thought he was gonna be a champion. I was waiting for him and Cass to be tag team champions since they came up to main roster.
Yeah, I was really surprised when they split them up that they never got to hold the tag titles. Not even in NXT. They didn't even get to hold the NXT tag titles.
Nope.
So
Nope. It
that
was
was crazy.
yeah.
But I heard the reason though that I heard that Enzo had a lot of heat backstage with a lot of people. I heard that he got kicked off a bus. That Roman Reigns kicked him off a bus one time. They were like in Europe or something like that, and
Mm-hmm.
Roman Reigns threw him off a bus because I don't know he had a lot of heat backstage. And obviously they split them up, and then they were pushing Cass real big before he got injured for towards ACL.
Yeah.
But Enzo, man, I kind of feel like he was fading away, man. He was fading off. He used to get really good pops when he was with Cass, man. Their pops used to be really, really good. He's really good on Enzo is really, really good on the mic. His mic skills are on point.
Mm-hmm.
And his wrestling abilities aren't that good to me. I don't think he's really that great of a wrestler.
His mic skills got him to where he's at. I mean,
Yeah,
his wrestling skills is not too far beyond, but the reason why he got pushed so much because he knows how to speak on the mic.
yeah, his mic skills are really, really good.
I feel like
And I feel like
Enzo started dying down because when he started jobbing to Cass, like after that, it was kind of like that was it.
yeah, Enzo, man, was real big. And now they said that right now they got a 16-man tournament that's going to lead up to WrestleMania to determine who the new cruiserweight champion is. So I'm interested to see who they're gonna fit in there, man. I the person I want to see be cruiserweight champion is Cedric Alexander. He's dope, man. Cedric Alexander is super good to me.
I want to see either him or Mustafa Ali.
Yeah, I like Mustafa Ali too, man. I was gonna say Mustafa Ali. I would say Rich Swann too, but I don't think he's gonna get that big of a push since he got arrested for the whole assault thing. I heard the charges have been dropped, and they say he's gonna come back soon. But I just don't think that he's
Yeah,
gonna get that
after
push that he
that, I
had.
don't think they gonna really even put trust in him after that. Because I hate that. Because I mean, Rich Swann was really good.
Yeah, I would like to see either Cedric Alexander, Mustafa Ali. I like Tony Nese too, man. They don't use Tony Nese a lot, but I like Tony Nese. And
Mm-hmm.
now they got Roderick Strong. He's gonna be in the cruiserweight division now. I think he's done with NXT. And
I
Roderick
feel
Strong.
like the whole cruiserweight thing, when they did this, brand split, I feel like the cruiserweight should have stayed with SmackDown because that's what they usually was at on SmackDown.
Right, yeah. The cruiserweights back. The cruiserweights aren't the same as it is now. I mean, when we were growing up, cruiserweights were like Rey Mysterio, Chavo Guerrero, Funaki, Nunzio, Spike Dudley,
Mm-hmm.
Hurricane Helms, or Gregory Helms when he was Gregory Helms.
Yeah.
All Paul London, Brian, all those guys were, especially Rey Mysterio, Chavo, man. Chavo was my guy, man. That was my dude. Rey Mysterio was dope too. Rey Mysterio was probably the best cruiserweight ever.
Yeah.
But Chavo Guerrero, man, was so good for the cruiserweight division. Even Paul London. I mean, I remember when he used to do the 450 splash. I think it's the first time I ever seen somebody do that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was most definitely dope. I just feel like if it shouldn't have had a whole new show and stuff. I mean, it's good that they're showcasing these cruiserweights. It's not just a little side show on Raw or SmackDown all the time. They got their own. They got their own place. They do their own thing. Like I think that's dope. But it's just like at the same time, it's kind of hard to even get behind because people are not really interested in them.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I kind of feel for Enzo, man. And like I said, if his allegations are true that he did rape somebody, then that's not. I don't commend that. That's definitely not okay.
Right.
But obviously, man, yeah, there's no cruiserweight champion right now, so we'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see what happens with that. But I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna go ahead. It's gonna be like a speed thing. I'm gonna ask you a couple questions. You can just answer them. I'm gonna ask you just like favorite matches or stuff like that, and we'll see if we just any answer that comes to your head. Just go ahead with that answer.
All right.
You have the who what would be your favorite WrestleMania match ever if you had to pick one?
Favorite WrestleMania match? It'd be Trish and Mickey, WrestleMania 22.
That was your favorite WrestleMania match?
Yes, it really was. That was really one I was actually invested in because at that time I was like, both of them together, especially with Mickey with the crazy psychopath storyline too. It
Yeah.
made it perfect.
Really? So
Yeah,
that would be your favorite WrestleMania match ever? It was Trish and Mickey?
yeah, probably my top one. Dead serious.
Wow, that's an interesting answer. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting like I was like you gonna say like Undertaker, Shawn Michaels or something like that, or like John Cena and The Rock.
After that though, after WrestleMania when Backlash came, I was actually in the building for that rematch, and I wish I still had that picture. I'm still mad because I got to take a picture with Trish.
Oh, you met Trish Stratus?
Yes, I did in person. Oh my gosh, she's the dopest woman ever. Like,
That's dope, man.
oh yeah, that was
I
my
never.
crush forever. I used to have a big old poster of her on my wall. She was, other than John Cena, Trish Stratus was probably another reason I watched Monday Night Raw. Back
See,
when they were on.
I wasn't a big Trish. I wasn't a big Trish Stratus guy, man. I was a Lita guy. Lita was mine.
Oh yeah, I was about to say she was dope too. I always loved her, but
Lita's my favorite superstar, my favorite woman superstar of all time. Lita. I was really big. The two girls that I really used to like were Lita and Tori Wilson.
I wish they would have just see, because I mean I've read up on a lot of things. Tori was actually supposed to be the first Divas champion before she retired.
Yeah.
I feel like that would have just made it worth something because she never really got no title shots like that. I mean,
She was never the women's champion. She never had the women's title.
That's would have been perfect for her to have been the first Divas champion, especially if you about to be on your way out. I mean,
Right, yeah,
I
yeah,
thought it would have worked. Like, I feel like there
yeah.
was a lot of women that should have been women's champion that wasn't.
I mean, it's the same thing. It's the same thing with with there's a lot of superstars out there that haven't been WWE. Like Roddy Piper was never the WWE champion. He was never the WWE champion. There's a lot of people that were on top that were never got to be the champion. So I mean,
Right.
Mr. Perfect was never the WWE champion either. That's he was never that guy. But
He got over. He was over.
yeah, that's crazy. And Trish and Lita, I wasn't expecting that, man. I was not expecting that answer. So who do you who's your favorite tag team of all time?
Tag team of all time, Dudley Boys.
Dudley Boys. I mean, mine. My favorite faction ever used to be Evolution, but now I would have to say mine would be probably the Shield. To be honestly, I really grew into them. Like I was really on them, and I was honestly I was so upset when they split up. I feel like it was too early because they were only together for like 2 3 years. I feel like it was just too early, and I was highly upset when they split up. Man, I was really in to the Shield, but that's
But
probably my
yeah,
favorite faction of all time. But my favorite tag team of all time probably is probably man. So hard, man. There's so many great tag teams. Mine would probably be the Hardys.
oh yeah, I was about to say the Hardys and Edge and Christian. They always had some really dope matches back in the
Yeah,
day.
Hardys, Edge, and Christian. I would say DX, but there's I would say DX, but DX is more looked at as a faction. I feel like because they've had no. It was originally just Triple H and Shawn Michaels, but then once Shawn retired, they added Billy Gunn and Road Dogg, and then they added X Pac, and they added a lot of other people. They added a lot of other people to DX. So
Yeah.
um, if it were just Shawn Michaels and Triple H, then it'd be different. But I would have to say the Hardys, man. I would think the Hardys probably my favorite tag team ever. Edge and Christian's up there too. They're definitely a tag team I really used to like back in the day was Rated RKO.
That was underrated, really. I forgot about them. I really
Edge and
did.
Randy Orton. I forgot that Rated RKO was actually one of my favorites. I used to really like them. I used to like they were in TNA though, but Beer Money, James Storm and Bobby Roode.
Bobby Roode, yep. I was gonna say I remember them. Beer Money.
Beer Money was one of my favorite tag teams. Motor City Machine Guns was one of my favorite tag teams too. They were really dope. I used to like them a lot.
Outside of the company, WWE wise, LAX was probably, even though they're more of a faction, but they were really
Oh yeah,
definitely.
LAX was dope, man. LAX was really dope. I used to like I like the Young Bucks too. The Young Bucks were a really great tag team. I liked there's oh man, I'm trying to think who else. I used to like Main Event Mafia when they were in TNA too, that faction that they had.
Yeah.
Um yeah, I would probably the Usos are up there too for me. The Usos definitely up there for me. They're one
Oh
of my
yeah,
favorite tag teams
now
ever.
most definitely. After that heel turn did wonders for them on SmackDown. Like
Oh
they
my
changed
yes,
up
because
every
that face up they were doing was just it wasn't going no more, man. It was time to change.
Mhm. I think one that was underrated too, even though they never got the whole the tag team titles, but Crime Time.
Oh yeah, I forgot about them.
Crime Time was really good. I hated that they never got the whole the tag team championships when they
Man,
were on
Crime
Raw.
Time, they were comedy, man. I remember all the skits they used to do when they used to rob people and they used to sell people shit for
Yes,
money and
yes, they
they
were.
used to sell
Yeah,
people like fake stuff for money. That was so pure entertainment stuff, man. Crime Time was one of my favorites. I never honestly. How did you feel about Legacy? I didn't like Legacy to be honest.
yeah, I really wasn't feeling them either.
It was a good faction, but I just didn't. I don't know. I just didn't. I wouldn't mess with them at that time because this is the feuds they were doing, and they were feuding with a lot of people that I liked. So I really
Yeah.
wasn't feeling them. But I used to like Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase. They were a really good tag team. Cody Rhodes he's super underrated too, man. He was one of the most underrated people I think too, which is why he left.
I
Um,
hate it because when Cody Rhodes, he used to get so much praise too, even though he was underrated. But then you look at Goldust, and they're just like, let's throw him in. I mean, he was a Rhodes too now. Like,
yeah, they just threw, but then they started doing the whole Stardust thing. That was just
yeah,
you don't know why they did that shit. No, that was not flying.
that was
I didn't like anything about that Stardust stuff. But the Goldust character, the '90s Goldust character, man,
bad. Yeah, like he was really good back then. I'm surprised he really didn't win any like major titles in his like whole run.
yeah, I know. I mean, I know he was the Intercontinental Champion for a minute, but other than that, he's never really been a top champion. But Goldust he's a Hall of Famer though. He'll be in the Hall of Fame. His
Oh yeah, most
character,
definitely.
his character was so unique, so bizarre. His character was just so.
Different.
It,
Like, at the
it,
time, it was just different for WWE. They ain't seen
yeah,
nothing like that.
yeah. He kind of reminds me. You know who kind of reminds me of Goldust?
Oh,
Velveteen Dream.
yep. Oh my gosh, yes.
Velveteen Dream. He's
I
kind of he's kind of like a Ravishing Rick Rude Goldust type of character.
I feel I like get a whole Prince vibe from him though. Like I think
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
dope. He definitely needs to be NXT champion here up soon. Like I know he's gonna get up there
Did
because
you
his
see the
match is amazing.
Did you see the match he had with Aleister Black?
Yes, I did see that NXT Takeover. That was nice.
That was a dope match, man. That was a great match. Um, the Velveteen Dream, though, man, he's unique, man. I like his stuff, man. I remember because his real name's Patrick Clark. I remember he was on Tough Enough.
Yeah,
He was like 19. He was like the only person who really knew anything about wrestling at the time. Because Mandy Rose won it. She was in there and she won. But I remember he was like the only person that only really knew anything about wrestling. But he got nobody voted for him to win, and I felt bad for him.
you know, like I said, with Mandy Rose winning too, she done made her way too because nobody thinks she could really wrestle. And when I seen
Yeah,
her on,
she's definitely improved, man. I'm glad to see where she's at right now. It sucks that Paige got hurt. They were doing the whole absolution thing, and it sucks that now she's not wrestling anymore, as far as we know. But
as long as they keep her on TV, I think she'll be okay. Like as
how
long
do
as they
you
keep her as a manager role, almost.
how do you feel about you know what the Bullet Club is?
Yeah, I was gonna say I heard of him.
You how do you feel about the Balor Club with Finn Balor and then having Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows?
Oh, I think that's dope. Like I don't know why WWE needs to capitalize on that like ASAP. Like I think they would. They run Raw. They run it.
I think they should throw. I was talking about this with another podcast on my other podcast with a dude named Mark Rambo.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we were talking about they should throw some women in there, and we were talking about they should put Mickey James and Sasha Banks in there with them as a heel. Like they could be like a heel group.
I see. With that though, the only time I would like to see like a heel Mickey James if she went back crazy. Now
Psycho
with
Mickey.
yeah, now with Sasha, she don't even need if WWE would book her right, she won't even need a team. She can do real good heel by herself. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I like really hope WWE does turn her heel at least before Mania. Like have her turn on Bailey some more. You know, they'll start a feud and maybe it'll be Bailey and Sasha at Mania. Like
Yeah,
I definitely feel that.
Sasha definitely, man. I remember I'll never forget the match she had at Takeover with Bailey. That was
Uh-huh.
that's probably the best women's match I've ever seen in my life. That's when I was really starting to invest into the women. Really, that's when I was really like, okay, yeah, like these women are like for real now. Like they're not playing no more games. Like they're trying to prove that they're up there with the men.
After seeing Trish and Lita main event Raw back in 04 and then seeing their match at Unforgiven in 06, I was like, I said these women they killing it. The top two, and then seeing just more reflections on that moment from them, and just seeing how they've grown so much now, it's amazing. Like,
Yeah,
but Sasha though, like I feel like they need to turn her heel immediately. She needs it.
yeah.
Like her face is getting stale.
Sasha needs to be a heel. She could be a really good heel. I would like to see her as a heel, but you know they just right now with the women. It's another thing about the women. There's just hard when you got times like WrestleMania. It's hard to fit all those women in there because you have so many women. You should have so many women that work so hard and that do that just try to do so much. You have to fit all those women in there, and you're not gonna fit all the. It's just some of these women are gonna be left off. Some of these women are gonna have a pre-show. And I honestly think they should do like how they do the Honor the Giant Battle Royal. They should do something like that for the pre-show for the women, like a little battle royal or something for the women to do.
It would be nice, like kind of do it like after China, since they have the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Do something like China's name incorporated in there. I think that would be pretty dope.
They should do something like that because if they do Ronda Rousey and The Rock versus Triple H and Stephanie, and then they do Asuka versus Charlotte or Asuka versus Alexa Bliss, that only leaves, you know, one champion available for something, and then you have the other women on the other brand left off. So they gotta do something. They gotta find something for like a tag match or something.
I mean, I feel like they'll find something to work out because last year's Mania there was 3 matches involving the women. You had that
Yeah,
mixed tag team match, and then you had the 6-pack challenge, and then you had that elimination fatal 4-way for Raw.
right, right.
So I feel like they'll work they way around it, but I'm not certain they'll put everybody up on that main card. You know, I hate it for him because some of them girls that work are like Dana Brooke. That girl's a beast. Like, I don't know why they don't put her back on TV wrestling instead of with, Titus Worldwide. Like, I feel
Yeah,
like when
Dana Brooke. See me,
start,
I'm not real big on Dana Brooke. That's just me. I'm not really invested in her, but they haven't really got to see what I haven't really got to see what she can do though. She hasn't really done much.
well, when I first like really started, like, he was like, okay, after her match with Asuka at NXT Takeover Respect, she gave Asuka, all that she could, but at that time they was real big on Asuka, so they really didn't let her lose up in NXT. Then her
Yeah,
being Charlotte's protege, Charlotte turning on her. I was expecting a feud after that, for real. They could have built something off that.
yeah,
Then they
yeah.
stopped, then Emma came back and they was beefing a little
I
bit.
I couldn't believe she got released, man.
That was one of them that was actually unexpected when WWE was doing them releases, like
And they got rid of Emma, man. Emma was really good.
especially after her match with Asuka at TLC, it was just like next night after she was gone.
Yeah, I didn't understand that, man. I was really upset when they got rid of Emma. But yeah, hopefully, man, we'll see what happens at Mania, man. There's so many predictions you can make, but there's so many things that some of the stuff kind of predictable. Like you kind of know what's gonna happen, but then the other things that you just don't know how they're gonna fill in everybody, and
Okay.
you just don't know how everybody's gonna fit in and fill in, and how they're gonna build everybody up. Because at first, they were talking about doing Triple H versus Kurt Angle, but now I guess they tossed that out the window. And then they talked about Braun Strowman and Triple H, but now I guess they tossed that out the window now. So um, I'm very interested to see how the build up going to be leading up to they got Elimination Chamber and they got Fastlane, and then you got WrestleMania. So I mean I'm going to be at Fastlane too because I got tickets. And
Oh, for real?
yeah, Fastlane's in Columbus.
Yeah, I heard about that. Oh, yeah, that's about to be real nice. That's one of the pay-per-views I wasn't really so like hung-go on was Fastlane because I'm like, I mean, I get yes, you're Fastlane to WrestleMania, but I just never enjoyed that pay-per-view much.
I haven't either, but the only reason I really want to go because it's the last pay per view before WrestleMania.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I was gonna
And
say it's gonna be.
a lot of shit's gonna go down. A lot of shit's gonna go down after that. After Fastlane, and they're gonna start building up a lot of stuff for Mania.
Yeah, I'm liking it too because Fastlane and SmackDown pay per view. I always rock the Team Blue ever since the brand split. Like I always thought SmackDown's been better than Raw. So far, they both kind of even. It was apparent that Raw was kind of getting it before SmackDown, but SmackDown been on a roll since after brand split.
Yeah, I would say they're pretty even right now. The only thing I don't like is that Raw is 3 hours and SmackDown's 2 hours. Either make Raw 2 hours again, or just make SmackDown 3 hours.
Yeah, but I feel like I don't know about that. I feel like with Raw it's extremely too long for real. Like you kind of just lose interest after a long time.
See, I don't though. A lot of people, a lot of people. I understand why a lot of people feel that way,
Mm.
but it doesn't bother me that it's 3 hours to be honest.
Yeah. It'd be different, I'm like, Raw being 3 hours, SmackDown being 2. I mean, I guess it goes, I always lean towards like SmackDown anyway. It just kind of fits in everything. Everything kind of fits in just where it's right. With Raw being like, oh damn, we got like an extra hour. They should be throwing shit in there.
Yeah. Yeah, I see exactly what you're saying, man. It's just I just don't like that how it's just one show longer than an hour long than the other because it just gives that other show more stuff to do. You know what I mean? It gives them more things to do, and I don't like that. Did you see Raw 25?
I did. I did watch Raw 25. It was actually pretty. It was pretty nice. Like I said, enjoyed seeing all the legends and stuff that came out. Especially Undertaker.
How did you feel about his promo?
I was iffy on it, to be honest.
I didn't understand it.
I didn't either. I was just kind of like, okay.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. A lot of people there was a lot of bad reviews on that too. A lot of people were kind of upset. Like, I guess they got their expectations up. They expected more. I was like,
Yeah,
what more could you possibly expect? They have all these people they got to fit in one show. It's 3 hours. They got two arenas they're filming at. Like, it's not as simple as you may think it is.
right, right. Like I commend it though, because I mean it was really nice. But honestly, SmackDown SD Live 900 was a whole lot better than Raw 25 in my opinion.
Yeah, SmackDown 900 was pretty good. I thought my favorite moment from Raw 20 was probably the Vince McMahon Stone Cold thing. That the way he kicked off.
Oh yes, hell yes, yes.
That was dope, man. That was really dope.
It just brought back so many more memories, from just that attitude there.
Yeah, man. It's I knew when Vince started cutting that heel promo. I knew Stone Cold was gonna come out. Like, he about to come out and get a stunner. Like, it's just so fitting because they got so much history together, and I was like, I knew that was I know it was coming.
I think that's probably one of my favorite like McMahon rivalries was with Stone Cold.
That might honestly be the best rivalry ever. To be honest, that might be the best feud in history, really. Because you got to think. I mean, you got to think how long he went. And just people were so invested into it. Because Stone Cold was Stone Cold probably the most popular superstar in WWE history. I mean, he was the reactions he used to get, the pops he used to get. It was, man. Nobody. I mean, who hates Stone Cold? He lost. Come on. I never heard one person say, "Oh, I don't like Stone Cold. He lost."
Oh, he's such a badass. Like that's why I really did like Stone Cold. Like he just got out there. He just did not give no fucks.
Yeah, I seen a picture the other day. It was a who's better picture. It said who's better, Stone Cold or The Rock. And I was like, bro, that's too tough to pick. Like, you got two guys who are so over, two popular superstars, two mega icons, two guys that nobody really. I mean, who's ever. You've never heard anybody say like, "Oh, I don't like The Rock" or "I don't like Stone Cold." You've never heard anybody say that.
They both are equally good in their prime. Like that's kind
Who
of
do who would
hard to
you
say.
who would you say the Mount Rushmore of WWE is as faces, like the four top faces of WWE ever?
Oh shit. Let's see. I would say Ric Flair being one of them. Definitely put Stone Cold in there. The Rock and Cena.
See, I had John Cena, The Rock, Stone Cold, but then I thought about Ric Flair, but I had to put Hulk Hogan in there only because Ric Flair wasn't at that time. Ric Flair wasn't in. He was in NWA back in the day. He wasn't in
Yeah.
WWE. And Hulk Hogan just revolutionized the '80s and wrestling. This WWE period, like it was like Hulk Hogan was just a mega star for wrestling back in the day.
Oh yeah,
So I
you
had
can.
to put. I would consider Ric Flair to be the greatest ever. I think he's probably the best pro wrestler of all time. But I would probably, if I had to pick the Mount Rushmore of WWE, like the top four faces, I would have to say Hogan, Cena, The Rock, and Stone Cold. I would have to say those guys.
Yeah.
But Flair, man, Flair, it's tough, man, because Flair's, it's hard, man. Flair's definitely got to be in there somewhere. But I would say I would say that Shawn Michaels would be the greatest in-ring performer ever, the greatest like wrestler you ever seen. Because I mean, you've never seen a bad Shawn Michaels. I don't think I've ever seen a bad Shawn Michaels match. I
Yeah,
would
he's
say
probably one of the best technical wrestlers like out there. Period.
I would say Undertaker is probably the best character ever. I would say Mick Foley is the craziest. Mick Foley is just the most insane person I think in history of wrestling. The man
Oh,
got thrown up. Man got thrown up Hell in a Cell. Got missing ear. I know. Take the cake for it.
yeah, most definitely.
I would say Mick Foley crazy. I would say Kurt Angle to me would be the greatest athlete in wrestling history, just because he has a lot of wrestling background, and he just picked it up so fast. When he first came, he picked it up so fast. I would say Stone Cold probably the most popular. I would give him the most popular. The Rock to me was the most entertaining superstar ever. John Cena would be the most controversial, even though Roman Reigns is sneaking up on him. Roman Reigns sneaking up on him for that. I
They
would say
just
Ric
hating
Flair.
on Cena. They want him to leave, but he can't go. Like they just get mad. He ain't going nowhere. Like
And the thing is, it's funny how people are not to say they hate Roman Reigns, they hate John Cena, but to me, you need superstars that are that controversial because no matter what anybody says, whether you like them or not, you can say you hate Cena, you can say you hate Roman, but you're gonna watch their matches. When you're gonna watch the people that they fight, and you're gonna feel some type of way about it. Either you're gonna be against it, or you're gonna be against them, or you're gonna be with them. It's one of those people who For example, when John Cena faced The Rock, you were either with John Cena or you were with The Rock. It was no in between. Like I'm torn between. No, you were either John Cena, I'm on Team Cena, or I'm on Team Rock.
See, with that one, I don't think that was the time I was really like watching it for real. For real, I remember seeing it a lot everywhere almost. The Rock and John Cena. I was leaning towards The Rock though a little bit because I'm like, they ain't about to.
See, I was with team. I was on team. I was with John Cena, man. I didn't want John Cena to lose that match. I wanted The Rock to lose.
Yeah, I mean, because that's like a passing of a torch type thing, But I was just like, nah. I said I'm going with The Rock with that one, just because
And
Cena can fight any other day, but I mean The Rock though, like you gotta.
And same, like I said, man, you're investing into those matches, they're controversial. Yes, people don't like it. It's a lot of stuff behind it. I think it's just the booking that they get, but it's fine. Cena's a legend. Roman's gonna be up there. He's a great in-ring talent. He's great for the business. He's a superstar. John Cena's a megastar. So and but a lot of those people will say what they want about it, but it's fine. But WrestleMania is coming up soon. We got a lot of stuff coming up. It was good talking to you. I'm glad you decided to do this podcast. Appreciate it.
Ain't no problem, bro. Do it any other time.
Yeah, we'll have to do it again. Next time we'll have to get more people into it because you can add more people, as many people as you want into the chat. So we'll have to do one with more people into it, and we'll have to do one. We'll have to do one soon, man. We'll have to do another one soon. I know I got one. I'm doing one tomorrow for somebody else, but it's for somebody else's channel. But yeah, we'll have to do one soon. We'll have to add some people into it. We'll do one. We should do one before Mania because then we'll know what matches are gonna happen. Then we'll know what's gonna go down, and we can give our thoughts on it.
Man, I'm down.
Yeah. All right, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you doing this. Appreciate you tuning in, man. You don't have a YouTube channel, so I can't give out YouTube. You're not a YouTuber, so you should look into that stuff, man. If you're a wrestling fan, you should really look into that stuff, man. A lot of people, if you do, cause I do reactions. I do a reaction every Monday and every Tuesday to SmackDown, and then I do one for the pay-per-views, but only to the important stuff. You know what I'm saying, like the stuff that matters.
Yeah.
But you should look into it, man. It's you get paid from it, and you get depending on how many subscribers and stuff you got. I'm almost at 2,000. So
yeah, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah, I'm almost at 2,000. I'm almost at 2,000 subscribers, and I got over 1 million views on my channel.
Oh yeah, that's lit. That's lit as hell, bro.
Yeah, so you should look into it, man. If you're investing in that stuff, you look into it. But appreciate you. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for everybody for tuning in to the channel. All the comments that you guys have been seeing, I've seen a lot of comments. I can't get a lot to them, but appreciate you, man. Get tuning into it. When I end this, though, we'll still be able to talk. Like when I end this, it won't be live anymore. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the broadcast. I appreciate you being on my channel, man, and we'll have to do this again sometime.
Ain't no problem.